Alrighty, these are instructions on how to do the assignment lettering strokes. This assignment here, if you have the worksheet, you are to follow the instructions up here. It says forming letters. Knowing the proper order of strokes makes it easy to create each letter. All strokes are made downward or from left to right. There are no upward strokes. A drafter's lettering speed and neatness is usually an indication of her or his drafting ability. It may be very important when he or she is applying for a drafting position. This applies to your grade right here. Generally, when you're writing letters, you write very slow and try to do your best work. When a teacher or an employer or a customer looks at your lettering, the lettering will tell you a lot about the work that you do. If your lettering is sloppy, chances are your drawing is sloppy and probably has errors in it. If your lettering is of high quality, such as it illustrated here, excuse me, you will have most likely a very precise and accurate drawing. So again, we're going to take our time doing this assignment. Now, if you have the worksheet, you can write right on the worksheet. If you do not have the worksheet and you are not able to print it out, you can go ahead and use a piece of paper. We prefer that you use college ruled paper. But if you do not have college ruled and you only have wide ruled, that will work. So let me explain to you the layout of how this works. What you're going to do is you're going to look down here. And you will see different indicators. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different indicators. You can come up here and notice that we have boxes that indicate similar direction. Okay, so this one here is downward. Let me try that again. This one here is downward or down strokes, and it includes the letters B, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, R, T, U, Y, 1, 4, and 5. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this here, these instructions. And what I would like you to do is I'd like you to go ahead and try to write each one of the letters 3 times. Okay, because we have 1, 2, 3 indicators. Now, moving on, we're going to look at the horizontals, whether it be in the middle of a letter, at the bottom of a letter, or at the top of the letter. That's going to fit into this category right here, which are the letters A, B, D, E, F, G, H, L, P, R, I, Z, 2, 4, 5, and 7. Again, we are going to go ahead and write those 3 times. Moving ahead, we have slashes that run what I would say is upper left to lower right. We have this arrow that goes from upper left to lower right. A, K, M, N, Q, R, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now we have slashes that go from right to left. And again, you're going to see up here slashes that go from right to left. And those are going to be letters that are A, K, M, V, W, X, Y, Z, 4, 7. Again, for both of those, we are going to write each letter 3 times. Excuse me. We have the forward-facing C, or the circle that goes from counterclockwise. And those are going to be letters that are going to be C, G, O, Q, U, 6, 8, 9, 0, and the AND symbol. Again, we're going to fill that in 3 times. We have the clockwise C. Almost looks like the letter D, doesn't it? Those are going to fit in with this right here, clockwise rotation. B, D, J, O, P, Q, R, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 0, and symbol again. Now, you're going to notice up here, there are a lot of repeating letters between the different tasks. So, lettering stroke style 1 and 2 have a lot of similar letters. Again, you're going to see just in this style here, this style here, these 3, you're going to notice that the letter A is shared between them. You still need to write each one of these letters in the given space. The very last letter that we are going to do is the letter S. And the letter S here, you'll notice it is unique to itself. And it's unique to itself because it is not that easy of a letter to write. Notice that there is 1 motion, 2 motions, 3 motions just to create an S. There is a lot of line here for you to practice writing an S. Now, what I would like you to do is, however much distance it took you to write all of your previous letters, I would like you to write your S's that way also. So again, this one right here does not apply to writing the letter 3 times. I want you to write the letter S as best as you can over and over and over again. Remember the old saying, practice makes perfect. Once you're all done, we are then going to go ahead and we are going to put in our last name, comma, first initial. You are going to go ahead and leave the scale blank for now. And we're going to leave the drawing blank for now. We'll fill this in later. Before we get started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to feel the surface of where I'm going to be working off of. This here has a little bit of a roughness to it. That little bit of roughness is going to transpose into our paper that we're going to be using. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of those cereal boxes that I had left over from earlier. I'm going to go ahead and set that down. Now that's going to give me a nice smooth surface to work off of. Now if you don't have a cereal box, it's okay. You can substitute something else. Alright. So looking at our sheet, we're going to do this assignment in pencil. We are going to start with this 3 vertical lines. 3 vertical lines is going to be these letters right here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start writing the letters. Now, for the letter B, which is the first one here, I have to follow the instructions right here. So it indicates I go down for my first stroke, over for my second stroke, over for my third stroke, over and curve for my fourth stroke, and then my fifth stroke is right here, connecting them. So let's see if we can do that. Now, if you have to turn your paper a little bit, by all means, turn your paper a little bit. So we have to go down, over, over, around, and around. Now, if you look at it and you compare it to our original, it's not the best. So let's try doing that again. Down, over, over, connect, connect. That one's much better. But I'm looking here and my spacing's too far. So let's go ahead and try one more. Over, 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 connect, connect. That's much better. But I'm looking at the top of here and I'm noticing, you know what? I was a little heavy on that. So that's no big deal. We're going to stop right there because chances are we're going to be doing a B somewhere else. So let's try the next letter. The next letter is D. So I'm going to just leave a little bit of a space. I'm going to start my letter D. And I have to go down, over, and connect it. So let's see if we can do that. D, over, connect, down, over, connect. All right, so you'll notice that a D is probably a lot easier to do than a B. Now we're going to start with the next letter. It's going to be in the letter E. All right, so we're going to go down, over, over, and then over in the middle. So down, over, over in the middle. All right, so that doesn't look too bad. Could probably do a little bit better. Down, over, over in the middle. Again, I'm paying attention. Oh, my spacing is a little too wide, so I want to bring that in again. Over, over in the middle. All right, so that looks pretty good. Now let's try doing the letter F. Take a look here. It's the same thing again. Down. Now this time, our second stroke is going to be at the top, and our third stroke is going to be in the middle. Leave a little space. All right, we're going to try that again. We'll try it again. All right. Now let's see. The next one in the stack is going to be the letter G. So again, I'm going to look back at my instructions here. Now, letter G is a complicated one because you start in the middle and you work your way down and over, and then you go from the middle up and over, and then you connect it with a over and down. And G is probably one of the hardest ones for me to do. Curve it, over and down. Okay? So again, let's try that again. Curve, curve, over and down. Curve, curve, over and down. All right. Now, those aren't too bad. Now let's see here. Next letter in our sequence up here is going to be the letter H. So let me see here. So it's down, down, and across. Down, down, and across. Down, down, across. Okay. Letter I. It's right here. You'll notice the letter I and the number 1 are identical to each other. I. Next one is the letter J. So the letter J is down, and swoop over. Down, swoop over. Down, swoop over. Down, swoop over. Next letter in our sequence is the letter K. Pay attention to how the letter K is made. Down, down and back, or yeah, down and back, and then forward. So let's see if we can do that. I like to keep my finger right next to the letter that I'm working on. That way it's just a quick reference. Now I goofed that one up, but that's okay. Let's look at the letter L. So it's down and over. The letter M is a tricky one because it's straight. Straight up, straight down, inward, inward. So I can go straight down, inward, inward. Straight down, inward, inward. Straight down, inward, inward. Oops, made a mistake that time. I went inward this way first and then this way. I shouldn't have done that. And as you can see, I made a mistake. But that's okay. So continuing on, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at our next letter after M in our list is going to be the letter N. So I'm going to come over here and you're going to notice that there's a little slight typo here. It goes 2, 3, 2. Well, where's 1? Yeah, if we looked at our rules from over here, it says we always start from the left and go to the right. So this has to be number 1. Okay, so it goes 1, 2, connect them. 1, 2, connect them. 1, 2, connect them. All right. Now you can see I am running out of room here. So what you're going to do is you're going to simply jump down to this next space right here. Okay. So let's take a look. I have the letter P. All right. So I think we can fit the letter P right here. Now you might be able to fit more letters. You might be able to fit less letters. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that we are doing them as accurately as possible. So let's go ahead and use the letter P. So it's down, over, and curve. Down, over, curve. Down, over, curve. Down, over, curve. All right. So now let's go ahead and do the next one. So we're going to do the letter R. R right here. Down, over, curve, and then down. Very similar to the letter P. So down, over, curve, and then over. Down, over, curve, down. Down, over, curve, down. All right. Now let's look at the letter T. T is going to be over and down, over and down, over and down. Now we got the letter 1, or the number 1, I should say, not the letter 1, the number 1. 1, 1, 1. The reason why I know that that was simple because I said earlier that the I and the 1 are identical to each other. Now let's look at the number 4. The number 4 is going to be totally different than what you normally would write. Normally we would write a 4 as kind of like an upside down lower h. You're going to notice here that it's closed in. So it's once down, 2 is over, 3 is across. So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. And then we've got our final, which is going to be the number 5. So it's partially down, curve, bring the curve back up and across. Down, curve, curve, over. Down, curve, curve, over. Okay. Now again, you might not get these on the first try, but don't worry about it. Also notice that I am using the full height of my area here. Okay. Now, you're going to continue on and you're going to fill in the rest of these letters. So these horizontal lines go to the second one here. Again, these going from right to left, or excuse me, from left to right, are this patch right here. The next one over, okay, which goes from right to left. It's going to be this patch right here. And then so on. Remember the S's, we're going to fill that in as many times as possible. Once you are all done, you are then going to go ahead and put your name in here. Notice that all of these letters up here, they're all capitals. We write in all capitals in technical drawing. Okay. As one tech teacher told me one time, drafters like to shout a lot. So that's how we write. We write in all capitals. Again, we're not going to worry about scale and drawing. We are going to put in the number 0, 0, 1. Okay. So 0, 0, 1. Now you might have noticed I did my 0 just slightly different with the curve and the curve. Sometimes what you'll find is that you can create a better technical number with modifying your style just ever so slightly, but still following the rules. Also, look here. Look at this number 8. That's not a typical number 8, is it? It's got this little curvy thing on the side of it. This is one way that we can write the and symbol in technical drawing. So this is what I want you to all do. I want you to do all of these letters and numbers in accordance to this breakdown up here. I want you to do them all following these instructions. Do not try to write them the way that you would normally write them. Okay? Again, if you do that, this assignment is not going to be counted. And I'm going to be telling you to redo it. So do it the right way the first time. Now let's say I don't have this worksheet. I can look at the worksheet online, but how am I going to go ahead and do this worksheet correctly? Well, what I can do is I can use lined paper. And again, I can go ahead and for following the rules, I can go ahead and start at the top and I can do the letter B. Over, or excuse me, down, over, over, curve, and connect. Down, over, over, around, and connect. Okay, and then you would continue on with that. Now, it doesn't matter how many lines you use, but all I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and put all your B's. And then you can go ahead and use the same symbol that they have next to the start. So see that right there? You can go ahead and freehand the symbol right there. And then when you're all said and done, at the very bottom, wherever you end up, you're going to go ahead and put your last name, comma, first initial. And then over on the other side, you're going to put in 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay. Now, if you need to use multiple sheets of paper, it's no big deal. Just go ahead and continue on with your lettering. And then what I would like you to do is, once you are all done, and if you do not have the ability to turn this in to me personally, you're going to snap a picture of it and you're going to either email it to me or submit it through our class software. So if you have any questions, make sure you email me. Otherwise, good luck.